Hello everyone. So today I will explain web workers in JS. Do you know about web workers? So if you don't know, so please watch this video. Then you will understood what is web workers in JS. So we'll increase the text size. Yeah, it's fine. So web workers in JavaScript are way to run script in background threads separate from the main browser thread. They allow to perform computationally intensive tasks without blocking the user interface. So web workers in JavaScript are a way to run scripts in background threads separate from the main browsers browser thread. They allow to perform computationally intensive tasks without blocking the user interface. Okay, so that is web worker. So now I will explain key feature. What is the key feature of that? So the key feature. So first one is it is runs in a separate thread. It is runs in a separate thread. It is like parallel to the main thread. And the second is doesn't block UI. Doesn't block UI. It is like smooth performance. And third is communicate with the main thread via message passing. Communicate with the main thread via message passing. Okay. So post message and the on message. And the next is no access to DOM. No access to DOM or window related objects. Window related objects. So that is the key feature of web workers. And the when to use web workers, like it we use for heavy calculation, example image processing, data parsing, and second is like background task, example file comparison, data fetching and processing. And the third is like real time updates or simulations. So that is the use of web workers. So now I will explain one example in code so you will better understand what is web workers. Okay. So in that code, stuff will write index.html. In that script tag src main.js, and then let's say h1 tag. H1 is a like web worker example worker. Okay. The h1 next is one button, and then button is I need one id name, let's say start, and then start worker, and again then button In the F1 button I need ID name is, let's say, stop. We need one stop button. And then text is P, and then ID, let's say ID is output, and then output will appear here. Okay, so that is the index.html. Now main.js, let's say let worker, okay, and then const output document dot get element by id, and then start sorry output. Okay, and then next is document dot get element by id, and then start, and then on click if window dot worker if window dot worker, let's say worker equal to new, and then worker, and then worker.js, and then worker dot post message, and then start, let's say, processing. Okay, and then worker dot on message equal function, and then parameter, let's e, and then output dot text content, message from worker, let's say dollar, and then e dot data, okay, and then else output dot text content, your browser does not support web workers. Okay, and then now it's like document dot get element by id, and then stop dot on click on click if worker, then worker dot terminate output dot text content, and worker terminated worker terminated, or let's say is terminated. Okay, and now in worker.js on message one function, and then e, and then console.log worker receive e dot data e dot data, and then let's say result let result equal to 0, and then for let I equal to 0, and then I less than 1 e8, and then I plus plus, and then result plus equal I, and then post message post message computation complete. So sum is dollar, and then result. Okay, now I will run. Now if I will start worker, so it is starting, and then if I will stop, so it is worker terminated, it is showing. So how it is working? So in that index.html file, I use for start worker start the background computation, and stop worker stop the worker, and it also includes a paragraph like PID output, and to display result from the worker. And now the like main.js, the script runs in the main browser threads and handles. It's creating the workers, new worker.js, and then sending message to the worker using worker.post message, and receiving message from on worker using worker on message, and stopping the worker using worker.terminate. And the third is like worker.js file. In that worker.js file, this is the background script that runs separately from the main thread, and it receives message using on message. It performs a CPU heavy loop to simulate heavy work, and it sends result back using post message. So the users click start worker main.js, click worker.js, and main.js sends a message. Worker.js start processing, and worker.js finishes processing, send result back, and main thread shows result in the main p tag. Clicking stop worker terminate the worker. So that is the flow of the worker, and then in this type we can use worker. If you have any doubt, so please comment down, and if you like this video, so please share and subscribe. Thank you.